Geobyte.
Hi students, welcome to the Geobyte Diploma series. In this video, let us discuss simply supported beam with UDL and point load. UDL and point loads. This kind of problem is frequently asking in the board examination. If you understand this problem, quite in-depth problem this one. If you understand this problem very clearly, then you can do any kind of problem for the SFD and BMDs. Look at the diagram. The diagram is for the simply supported beam. For that simply supported beam, UDL is acting throughout its length. Though I show the UDL between the 2 point loads, remember that UDL is acting throughout its length. The same magnitude will be acting over the entire length, that is 4 meters. Now let us mark the points like A, B, C, D, etc. For the UDL you need not to mark. Now let us assume let us assume the RA be the reaction at A and RB be the reaction at B. RA be the reaction at A, RB be the reaction at B. You need to find RA and RB separately. For that, first let us take the RA plus RB. RA plus RB means sum of the reactions. You know, sum of the reactions must be equal to sum of the actions. Sum of the actions means sum of the point loads. One 3 kilonewton point load plus one 4 kilonewton point load, 4 kilonewton point load plus UDL is there. That UDL should be converted to point load. How? By multiplying UDL with UDL distance. What is the UDL distance for this entire beam? The UDL distance is 4 meters because that UDL is acting throughout its length. Though I have shown or though I marked the UDL between the 2 point loads. That's why I took the total length for the UDL distance. It is equal to 4 to the 8, 8 plus 4 12, 15, 15 kilonewtons. But I need RA and RB separately. For that, let us taking moments about A. Let us take the moments about A. With respect to A, RB is developing the anti-clockwise moment and the loads are developing clockwise moments. Just we are converting, or just we are equating, not converting, just we are equating the anti-clockwise moments and clockwise moments. Here anti-clockwise moments are due to RB only. RB into up to distance A, because we are taking the moments about A. RB into 1 minute. RB into up to distance A, that is 4 meters. It must be equal to sum of the clockwise moments. One moment due to 3 kilonewtons. 3 kilonewton multiplied by distance up to A, because we are taking the moments about A, plus the another point load. First let us consider the point loads. The 4 kilonewton multiplied by distance up to A, that is 3. These two are the clockwise moments due to point loads. UDL is there. UDL multiplied by 2 into 4. UDL multiplied by UDL distance gives the point load. Assume that resultant point load is acting at the middle of the AB. Therefore, from that middle point to you take the distance up to A, that is 4. I hope you understood. 3 into 1 be the moment due to point load. 4 into 3 be the moment due to 4 kilonewtons. But 2 kilonewton per meter is the UDL. First you have to convert from UDL to point load. To convert from UDL to point load, I multiplied with UDL with UDL distance. Once you multiply UDL with UDL distance, you are getting the point load. Assume that point load is acting at the middle. From the middle point to up to distance A, it is 2, not 4. That is the printing mistake. 2 into 4 is giving the point load. Assume that point load is acting at the middle. From the middle point to this may be the middle. This may be the middle point. From that middle point to distance up to A. Distance up to A means this is the distance. So you simplify that value. It is, because of the limited space, let me write the simplified value. I got RB is 7.75 kilonewtons. You can simplify with your calculator. Then RA, reaction at A equal to, total is 15 minus RB, total is 15 minus RB 7.75. It is equal to 7.25 kilonewtons. That is how RA and RB to be found. 7.25 kilonewtons. RB also 7.75 kilonewtons. Now let us go for the SF calculations. Let us do for the SF calculations. For this, you should take downward forces positive and upward force negative. Sign convention. Now we are going to find the shear force values from right to left. Shear force at B. Dear students, look at the B. At B, is it the load upward or downward load? The load at B is upward load. Upward load is generally denoted by negative sign. Therefore, it is minus 7.75 kilonewtons. Next, shear force at just before C. Why it should be at just before C? At C, two effects are there. One UDL effect and one point load effect. For finding the shear force at just before C, you consider only effect of UDL. Already minus 7.75 is there, plus UDL is maintaining the downward force. But in the shear force, you are adding the point loads, means you have to convert from UDL to UDL distance. In between the B and C, UDL is 2 kilonewton per meter. The distance is 1. 2 into 1. UDL multiplied by UDL distance between the B and C is giving the point load. The answer is minus 5.75 kilonewtons. I hope you understood. Similarly, SF at exactly C equal to, already minus 5.75 is there, plus exactly at C 4 kilonewtons point load is there, that is acting vertically downwards. Vertically downward force is positive, plus 4, it is equal to minus 1.75 0.75 kilonewtons. Similarly, shear force at just before D, because at D two effects are there, one UDL effect, one point load effect. While we are calculating for just before D, consider only effect of UDL. Now minus 1.75, already the load is there before at C, at C, plus you have to consider the UDL between the C and D only. Between the C and D, load is 2 kilonewton per meter. Of course, throughout the length, the load is same, but distance is 2 meter. So, UDL multiplied by UDL distance. UDL distance between the D and C. That is the shear force between the D and C. It is 4. I can say it is plus, it is not minus, it is plus 2.25 kilonewton. Similarly, I hope all of you understood. Shear force at D, exactly D, equal to already 2.25 kilonewton is there, plus at D exactly 3 is there, it is 5.25 kilonewtons, 1 minute, 5.25 kilonewtons. Now SF at, look at the A, just before A. SF at just before A. Why we need to consider at A, one UDL effect is there, one point load effect is there. SF at just before A equal to already 5.25 is there, plus the point load between the D and A. In between the D and A, UDL is there. For getting the point load from the UDL, you multiply UDL with UDL distance, that is 2 into distance between D and A, that is 1 meter. It is equal to 7.25 1 minute, 7.25 kilonewton. Similarly, the last point, exactly at A, SF at exactly A equal to already 7.25 is there. Exactly at A, it is upward force is negative, minus 7.25, the resultant value is equal to 0. SF at A should be 0 when you calculate it from B to A. Now let us project the vertical lines from the respective points. 1 minute, 1 minute. Vertical lines, thin vertical lines from the respective points. 1 minute, like this. Now you draw a reference line maybe like this. Reference line should be selected such that the shear force diagram should be drawn on both sides of the reference line. This is A, D, C and B. Take the reference, reference means here the sign convention. Upside it is positive, downside it is negative. Means I am going to take positive values above the reference line, negative values below the reference line. So with that, let me construct the SF diagram. SF at B minus 7.75, somewhere here 7.75. You need not write once again minus, because already you put the minus sign. SF at just before C minus 5.75, exactly C 1.75 in the negative side. SF at just before D 2.25, SF at exactly D 5.25, 5.25, SF at just before A, SF at just before A 7.25, 7.25, exactly A it is 0. Now let us join all these values for getting the shear force. Shear force diagram. This is the effect of point load. Effect of point load. This is the effect of UDL. Effect of UDL is maintaining the straight line variation. Effect of point load. Effect of point load. Effect of UDL is maintaining the straight line variation. Effect of UDL. For finding the just before D, we took the effect of UDL only. This is the effect of point load. Effect of point load. Effect of UDL. Effect of UDL. And effect of point load. Effect of point load. So this is the shear force diagram. Then what you should do? You have to go for the boundary marking. Boundary marking may be like this. This is how the boundary can be marked. That is how the boundary can be marked. I hope all of you understood. This is the shear force diagram. Shear force diagram. Shear force diagram. Okay. I hope all of you understood. If you need any clarifications regarding this SF diagram, you can contact me through the message. Now let us go for the BM calculations. Now let us minimize the size of the diagram like this. Now let us find the BM values. BM calculations. For BM calculations, what should I do? I should take the clockwise moments negative and anti-clockwise moments positive. Anti-clockwise moments positive. Now let us do the BM calculation part. For finding the BM, before going to find the BM, one more point I forgot, that is the point where the SF diagram changes its sign. Look at the point at point K. At this point K, the shear force diagram changes its sign from negative to positive or positive to negative. That is at a distance of, let it be x from the C. X from the C. At that point K, bending moment will be maximum. You know that wherever the shear force diagram changes its sign from positive to negative or negative to positive, the bending moment is maximum. To find maximum bending moment, I should know the distance x. The distance x can be found like this. Look at the shear force value at K. Shear force at K equal to 0. Shear force at K equal to 0, where bending moment is maximum. Bending moment is maximum. Wherever the shear force diagram changes its sign from negative to positive or positive to negative, bending moment is maximum. Now let us find the shear force value at K. The shear force value at K can be written like this: minus 7.75, that is the upward force, that is the reaction. Upward force is negative, plus 4, that is the point load, vertically downward force, plus UDL effect 2 multiplied by the distance up to K. The distance up to K is 1 plus x. It must be equal to 0. 1 plus x must be equal to 0. Now let me write it clearly, because your understanding is very very important. 1 plus x, right? Now let us simplify this value. Minus 7 point, okay, 1 minute, minus 7.75 plus 4 minus 3.75 plus 2 plus 2x is equal to 0. From this you can decide the x value. The x value is, from that the x value is 1.75 by 2. 1.75 divided by 2, value is 0.875. Value 0.875 meters. Is it correct? Let me check it. Minus 3.75 plus 2 minus 1.75. Minus 1.75, you bring it to other side. 1.75. 1.75 divided by 2, absolutely 0.875 meters. That means maximum bending moment is occurring. Maximum bending moment is occurring at a distance of 0.875 meters from C. Once again, the maximum bending moment is occurring at a distance of 0.875 meters from D. At that point also, you need to find the bending moment or maximum bending moment. Now let us go for the BM calculations. Let us take the another color for the BM calculations. BM calculations. I have so many options for taking the different colors. That is the beauty of this technology. BM calculations. For that I should take the clockwise moments negative, anti-clockwise moments. What should I take? 1 minute. Anti-clockwise moments should be taken as positive. Positive. Clockwise moments is negative. Both are not looking clearly. Let me draw it clearly. Plus, and this is the minus. Okay, now it is okay. No, not correct. 1 minute. Clockwise moment should be negative. 1 minute. Clockwise moment should be negative. Anti-clockwise moment should be positive. Yes, this is correct. This is correct. Now, let us go for the BM calculations. BM calculations. You know, BM at B equal to 0, because that is one support, and BM at A also 0. We know that for a simply supported beam, bending moment at the supporting points, at both supporting points, will be equal to 0. Now the BM at C, BM at C, BM at C equal to, BM at C equal to, at C one reaction effect is there, one UDL effect is there. 7.75 into 1 is developing the anti-clockwise moment. Anti-clockwise moment is positive, minus UDL multiplied by UDL distance. UDL multiplied by UDL distance gives the point load, where that point load is assumed to be concentrated in between the B and C. from that middle point to distance up to C, that is 0.5. Directly I have written, in fact it is 1 by 2. I hope you understood. Bending moment at C equal to RB into 1 meter is giving the anti-clockwise moment positive. UDL between the B and C 2 kilonewton. That UDL multiplied by UDL distance, the UDL multiplied by UDL distance gives the point load. That point load is assumed to be concentrated at the middle. From that middle point to distance up to C is giving the bending moment at C. Next, come to the bending moment or maximum bending moment, I can say. Maximum bending moment at, where do you find the maximum bending moment, dear students? Maximum bending moment at K. Maximum bending moment at K equal to 7.75 into the distance up to K, 1 plus X. X is 0.875. 1.875 minus 4 into 0.875. This is developing the clockwise moment. Clockwise moment is negative, minus UDL effect. 2 into UDL into first UDL distance. UDL into UDL distance is 1.875 into 1.875 by 2. That means indirectly here I have the limited space, otherwise let me write once again. It's a kind of revision for you. Maximum bending moment, maximum BM at K is equal to 7.75 into distance up to K, that is 1.875 minus 4 into 0.875, this is giving the clockwise moment, minus UDL effect. UDL into UDL distance is 2 into 1.875. UDL into UDL distance gives the point load. Point load is assumed to be concentrated at the middle. From that middle point to up to distance K, 1.875 by 2. That is the maximum bending moment at K. Then BM at D. Look at the BM at D. At D, BM, the moment due to RB positive because it is anti-clockwise. 7.75 into up to distance D, 3, minus UDL effect, 4 into up to distance 2, minus 7.75 into 3 is the moment due to RB, minus 4.2 be the moment due to point load 4 kilonewtons. 7.75 into 3 is the anti-clockwise moment. 4 into 2 be the clockwise moment. Clockwise moment is negative. Minus UDL effect. UDL into UDL distance. The UDL total distance is 3 meters. Total distance means up to D from B. Up to D from B is 3 meters. So UDL into UDL distance gives the point load, where that point load is assumed to be concentrated at the middle of the BD. From that middle point to you take the distance up to D, that is 3 by 2. You simplify this value for constructing the bending moment diagram. Let us simplify. Look at the values. I got BM at C equal 6.75 kilonewtons. maximum bending moment at 7, maximum bending moment at K, maximum bending moment is found at K 7.515 kilonewton meter, and bending moment at D is 6.25 kilonewton meter. With this information, let me project the BM diagram. For that, I should extend the vertical lines like this. The reference line should be taken such that bending moment should be drawn above the reference line only, because bending moment diagram is above the, or bending moment values are positive, therefore above the reference line only. This is A, this is B, where bending moments are 0. At C it is 6.75. At K also I should mark. At K 7 point, it is 1 minute. Let us change the 1 minute. It is dominating. The reference line should be selected such that it should not be dominating the main diagram. So along the K line, maximum bending moment is 7.515. And at D it is 6.25, just below the 6.75. 6.25, right. Now the entire beam is having the UDL, therefore entire BM diagram is with the parabolic variation. Start from B like this. So somewhere here 1 minute. Okay, so 1 minute, the diagram is not correctly looking like this. 1 minute. Let us mark the 1 minute. Now instead of marking this line, okay, instead of marking this one, you try to mark somewhere here. This may be the how much? 6.75. Now start from B, go for the value parabolic variation, like that. This is the, I hope you understood. You can understand. This is the BM diagram with parabolic variation. BM diagram. Okay, now let us go for the boundary like this. This is the BM diagram. That is the BM diagram. Let us take the another color. 1 minute. I'll try to provide the clarity in the information. This is the BM diagram. I hope all of you understood. So with this, dear students, I am concluding the simply supported beam. In the next video, we will discuss the overhanging beam. This concept is very easy. You need not to remember even single formula for this particular chapter. For other chapters like simply supported beam or geometric property subsections, you need to remember so many formulas. But for this case, you need not to remember even single formula. All the diagram should be constructed based on the logical information. So anyhow, please go through it. Please try to put on the paper. Don't try to read the problems, particularly SFD BMD diagrams. You try to put on the paper whatever you have seen from the SFD and BMDs. You may be getting doubts. If you get that doubt, just go through the video. Still, if you need any further clarifications, you send a message to me. Definitely I will explain to you in online. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Please send these videos to your friends also, because these are very useful and informative videos for all diploma students. You please send these videos to all your friends, and subscribe our channel GeoByte. After this strength of material, after completion of strength of material, I will plan for the fluid mechanics. Like that, all mechanical diploma subjects, all mechanical diploma subjects will be uploaded in very soon. Please encourage us by subscribing. Thank you for watching. In the next video, we will discuss the overhanging beams. Thank you.
GeoByte.